Okay, so we are discussing a BOT project. BOT stands for Build, Operate, Transfer. तो अगर आप इस प्रॉब्लम के की पार्ट्स देखोगे, so what is given that the cost of the project is 10,000 CR. Now this is broken up into how many parts you are financing this project with. Financing this project with debt and equity. Is that correct? 25% is equity. Therefore, debt is 75%. And what is so these are your weights. What is your cost of capital? For equity, we can use the CAPM model. The government security yield is 7%. So that is your risk-free rate. Beta of the stock is 1.25 into market risk premium is 8%. Which model did we use? Capital. Capital asset pricing model. Debt, we will first have to find out YTM and then take the post-tax element. So YTM के लिए कूपन कितना है? YTM के लिए what is the coupon? $100 के 100 के बॉन्ड है, एक बॉन्ड 6%, so 6 is the coupon. Plus what is your maturity value? 100 minus what's your price? 96 divided by n is 10 years. Whole thing divided by 0.4 times m plus 0.6 times p. So मेरा YTM आता है 6.56%. Is that correct? So should this be the cost of debt then? What should I do now? We should now take the post-tax of this. So YTM into 1 minus tax rate. Tax rate is given to be at 30%. So now you can find out your WACC. So WACC comes to 7.69%. This is like your major input for this problem. 7.69%. Is that correct? सबको ये तो आया होगा correct or no? So now next step is to put down the years. There are 10 years. So I'm going to put down the 10 years here, 1, 2, 3, and go up to 10. And start with revenues. Who can tell me what is the first year revenues and how did you get it? First year revenues and how did you get it? Yeah, so the cost of the project is nothing but your capital employed. And capital employed into is your total assets. And assets into asset turnover ratio will give you your revenue, which is 10,000 into 0.8. तो आपकी रेवेन्यूज कितनी हो गए पहले साल की? 8,000. What is the revenue growth rate?
At the end of the first year, there would be depreciation as well. So the asset value will fall.
हाँ तो इसीलिए तुम्हें नहीं. It's always assets are deployed in the beginning of the year to earn the revenues for that year, just like capital. Now these revenues are supposed to grow at 10% every year. That's what is given, no? So ये 10% है. तो ये हो गए आपके रेवेन्यूज. So now, have they given you your GPM also, gross profit margin? कितना है? So GPM is 40%. So we can straight away arrive at gross profits. Now, once you have your GPM, next is your depreciation and your OPEX. OPEX कितना दिया है? What is the OPEX percentage? Be very careful here, huh? They have mentioned operating expenses inclusive of depreciation is to be capped at 20%. So the way you'll do this is you could take your OPEX to be 20% of revenues minus your depreciation. Depreciation कितना है for your year? 50 years पे divide करना है आपको. So 10,000 by 50. हाँ हाँ into हाँ नहीं नहीं कैलकुलेट किया ना 10,000 into 0.8 ऐसे टर्नओवर रेशियो. डेप्रिसिएशन 200 होगी, which is the capital cost divided by number of years of useful life. हाँ एग्जैक्ट. तो इसलिए मैं क्या करूंगा, I will do revenues into 20% minus depreciation for remaining OPEX. तो ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्लूड हो जाएगा. करेक्ट. So that will be your OPEX. You got this part, no, everybody? Because OPEX includes depreciation. So take 20% of revenues and then exclude your depreciation so that your total OPEX is 20. What do you get next? EBIT. What will be EBIT? EBIT is this number. Correct? श्रद्धा नेक्स्ट आता है इंटरेस्ट. कितना होगा इंटरेस्ट बताओ. यस निपुण. हाँ होना तो चाहिए, होना तो चाहिए. But because it's a small number, no harm ignoring it also. But you're totally right to include it. इंटरेस्ट कितना होगा श्रद्धा? आपका टोटल डेट कितना है? 10,000 का 75%. उसके ऊपर कूपन कितना है? 6%. So that means your interest is going to be 450. Now you take PBT, profit before tax. Then what is the tax rate given? 30%. So PBT into tax rate is your taxes. Reduce that, you will get your PAT or net income. ये आ गया आपका नेट इनकम, करेक्ट? जस्ट सी इफ यू आर गेटिंग द सेम नंबर्स. हाँ, यही नंबर्स आए कि नहीं? इंटरेस्ट 10,000 करोड़ का कैपिटल है, 75% डेट है. सो 10,000 इंटू 75%, उसका 6% इज योर कूपन.
और जो है वो 10 years से और 9 years we assume कि equally pay off होगा या फिर at the end 10 years 10 years के साथ
कूपन तो हर साल सेम रहता है.
कूपन सेम रहता है but what I'm saying is कि हर साल मतलब थोड़ा थोड़ा amount EMI में pay हो रहा है फिर at the end
वो दैट इज फॉर amortizing bonds. Unless and until specified, you will not assume amortizing bonds, you will assume bullet bonds. अभी करेंगे फ्री कैश फ्लो. यहां तक आ गए आप? फैट, सेम नंबर्स. So now we should include our capex and working capital investments also. कितना है capex? 500 CR in the third and the sixth year. So third and sixth year में I'm putting 500 CR. And I think second and fourth year में you have working capital, right? 25 each. Correct? So now we can arrive at FCFF, which is net income plus interest into 1 minus tax rate plus depreciation minus capex and minus working capital investment. I think I didn't freeze the rate. Yeah. Just check if you are getting the same numbers. Net income plus interest into 1 minus tax rate plus depreciation minus capex and minus working capital investments. Clear? So now we will use discounting factors, which will be basically 1 by 1 plus WACC to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ये आपके डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर्स हो गए. दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई करोगे, यू विल गेट योर प्रेजेंट वैल्यूज. नाउ वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट अ टर्मिनल वैल्यू. टर्मिनल वैल्यू क्या होगा? फ्री कैश फ्लो एट द 10th ईयर इंटू 1 प्लस टर्मिनल ग्रोथ रेट डिवाइडेड बाय WACC माइनस टर्मिनल ग्रोथ रेट. ये बन गया आपका टर्मिनल वैल्यूएशन. करेक्ट? हाँ. कैन यू टेक द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ द टर्मिनल वैल्यू? Nothing much there, just multiply your terminal valuation with the discounting factor. अब ये जितने भी हैं, we need to add all these cash flows to get the value of the buyout. Mind you, be very careful. We are actually doing it today, huh? This is the value today we are estimating कि 10 साल बाद हम इस वैल्यू पे ट्रांसफर करेंगे. तो इसमें एंड में क्या हो सकता है? There could be additions because of inflation. There could be deductions because of damages. And there could also be deductions because of क्या कहते हैं, पेनल्टीज. तो वो वैल्यू चेंज भी हो सकती है. सो दिस इज द, सपोज आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट द इक्विटी बायआउट वैल्यू. तो समझ रहे हो, अगर मैं पूरे फर्म को नहीं ट्रांसफर करूं, अगर मेरे को इक्विटी खरीदना है, दिस इज द बॉट प्रोजेक्ट वैल्यू. अगर मेरे को इक्विटी खरीदनी है तो इक्विटी कितनी की होगी? दिस वैल्यूएशन माइनस 7,500 है ना डेट वैल्यू. But please remember multiply this with 0.96 because debt अभी 96% पे ट्रेड कर रहा है. So equity buyout will be 29,122 CR. Clear? No? Which last part? See, your total, this is your total transfer value of the project. अब इस टोटल वैल्यू में दो हिस्से है ना, एक हिस्सा डेट का है और एक हिस्सा इक्विटी का है. करेक्ट? अभी डेट का हिस्सा कितना है? 7,500 करोड़ है ना बुक वैल्यू. लेकिन हमें 96 रुपीज का ही मिला ना. प्राइस तो 96 का था जब ट्रेड कर रहा था. तो फिर हमें सिर्फ 7,200 ही मिले. करेक्ट ना? तो इक्विटी वैल्यू कितनी है? मतलब 29,120. Yeah, Shruti, now. So this is the buyout. So if you want to transfer the entire project, it will be paid 36,322. But if you want to buy just the equity stakes, and 29. वैसा है. So I'm sharing this file with you guys. So that's how you value bought projects.